Yeah, it's one of those really sad things too, because I don't know if you remember that the Flat Earth Society originally, like in the early days of the internet, was a satire website.
Yep, it was started by 4chan, which is hilarious to me.
And then eventually, people who didn't get the joke showed up, and
yeah.
now we're in this.
Oh,
situation.
Pursuit of Knowledge achievement. Is that for getting enough bytes?
Probably, yeah.
Let me check.
Did it, or just finishing researching something? Now that it's done,
yes.
I'm gonna actually move this thing around a little bit because it's in the way of the printer right now.
Yeah.
So let's put it over here. So you can daisy chain things together like that. So
we should probably make a generator, shouldn't we? Because it seemed like we were having a lot of power issues.
Yeah, or some. I think we have to research it, but we need some power situation. So we have enough bytes. It looks like to research the small solar cell.
Well, what's better, that or the wind turbine?
Well, one works when the sun's out, one works when the wind's blowing. So.
Oh, what's more likely on this planet? Do we know?
Well, the sun is out by guarantee every day. The wind comes and goes.
Point. And also, we're not really at a high elevation as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's modeled that clearly, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's only 500 bytes. It won't take us that long to get another 500 bytes.
Yeah.
Although, let's see. Well, that needs copper. They both need things we don't have currently.
How do we get
copper? And one needs glass.
I'm guessing we got to go underground for copper?
I've also seen it in the mountains, so maybe we can do a little bit of mountain climbing.
Okay.
There's a mountain over in the direction we were going before.
Okay.
I think, if I remember correctly.
All right. You keep going that way. I'm going to split up and go this other way up this area and see what I find. This will give the audience some incentive to use the multi-twitch and watch both perspectives.
There you go.
And I know I'm uploading this on my YouTube. If you're uploading it on your YouTube, there's another incentive for people to watch both. Maybe put them as windows side by side or something.
That's a good point, Tinky. Do we need... I think we might. We actually need a refinery for copper. Somebody was pointing out in my chat.
Is that something we're able to make right now?
I think we have to research it, but I'll go through the research thing. You can keep looking around because the research panel is a little bit tricky to navigate sometimes. Because it's divided up into a bunch of different subsections, as you may have noticed.
I already know exactly what you mean about constantly hitting the wrong button. I cycle through backpack, tech, and pulling out my mining thing, and it's always the last one I click is the one I wanted.
Yeah.
I just keep doing that.
There is another situation, as someone in my chat's pointing out, that if we continue exploring around, we will eventually find crashed ships and stuff that occasionally have stuff already on them that we can just steal.
Okay. Ooh, I see snow up here. I'm gonna go up there.
Malachite is what you're actually looking for before it's refined into copper.
Oh, man, I want to play World of Warcraft Burning Crusade.
Is it the smelting furnace? Smelter, yeah.
You ever played World of Warcraft back when it was good?
I played World of Warcraft for 5 solid years.
You remember how good Burning Crusade was?
Yeah, I used some of our research to research a smelter, by the way.
Sweet.
Yeah, my World of Warcraft period was from... I'm actually going to build a smelter too, because it's stuff we have easily accessible. Was from about 6 months before the end of vanilla through 9 months into Cataclysm.
That's almost exactly mine as well, which is shocking actually, where it was Cataclysm really turned me off of it. I gave up before Cataclysm, just before, and then Cataclysm was the nail in the coffin. But I still sometimes play on, I have a private server that's really good that does Burning Crusade, because that was my favorite. Yeah. Although Wrath was also good. Yeah, if you ever want the details to join in on that, it's free and it's awesome and totally legal, I swear. I do a YouTube series on that. because it's really fun. We have a guild and everything. It's great. It works.
Nice.
It runs like butter. That game was so well optimized first time. I have viewers who use like shitty netbooks for word processing that they got for university who tell me the game runs at 60 frames per second. It's so good.
I think that was part of what made World of Warcraft as successful as it was, is that it ran on basically anything.
Yeah, and it looks like, it's funny because like, yeah, like the textures are kind of out of date. The game looks really nice still. Like really seriously nice because the colors are so nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was impressive. Sorry, I'm just, God, I heard you say malachite, and when I hear malachite, I think of jewel crafting, and back when World of Warcraft was good, and I also think of Thea the Awakening, which is amazing, and Thea 2 is coming out.
What
Thea
is that?
the Awakening is
Remind
like a
me
small
more about
indie
that
game, though, so you may not have played that one. It was never super popular. Very cool Slavic mythology, fantasy, turn-based strategy game where you're trying to survive in a hostile world after a kind of apocalypse thing. Very, very cool game. You probably haven't seen it just because I don't think it sold very well.
I know the name, but I don't think I've ever played it.
You've probably seen it on sale on Steam a lot. It's one of those games, and it's very good. It's one of those ones that looks outwardly like, I've seen games like this, but when you play it, it's actually very unique and very good.
Cool.
I highly recommend it. I love that game to death, which is why I've done so much content on it. I'm coming back with a big-ass research thing, by the way.
Nice.
Retro says, I think of Malakath because I play way too much TES. What's TES?
The Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Malakath is one of the Daedra princes, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a Daedra prince. It's funny you bring that up, Retro. I was just watching my my buddy, The Salt Factory, on YouTube. He just did a video where he revisited Morrowind for an hour, and it was a really good video. He did one like that for Oblivion last year that got really popular, like 2 million views. Salt Factory is a really good channel on YouTube. He's like a YouTuber who came in and his like second video ever got like 2 million views on YouTube and just got skyrocketed into stardom and had no idea what he was doing.
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, so I came to him and I was like, your videos are really awesome. We got talking, we became friends and everything. And so I kind of like, I kind of show him the ropes of like the stuff on YouTube that normally you learn over time, but he got thrusted into stardom early. So I'm trying to help out with that. So yeah,
you should
fucking
just be able
good
to
on
put
him.
that on your,
Where's the research thing? There it is.
Right there.
Do I need to tell it to start? Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this a generator?
This is a smelting
furnace. Okay,
so right now I'm turning clay into ceramic,
so
just
you're
because
turning
we just
Dippin' Dots into ceramic.
Yeah, just because we happen to have it lying around, but we need to find malachite in order to turn it into copper.
Yeah, I should dump all this shit too in case I find anything useful. Fuck. Clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
But yeah, I was just firing up the furnace just because it was there, basically.
Why not? I'm sure we'll need the resource that comes of it at some point.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have almost 500 bytes right now. Is there anything we want? Tethers unlocked. Oh, we already have that whole row of stuff. Well, why is it here then?
One of the things that I would really like to do is to get a tractor, which is 1,000 bytes. Although we need aluminum for that. We haven't found that yet either.
I'm seeing a lot of mods on here. I'm guessing that's to upgrade buildings?
No, that's to upgrade your driller.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Driller mods. Dynamite,
somebody's also
fireworks.
Wanted me to show you that if you smelt organic, you get carbon, which won't happen until this thing finishes. But
okay, and I'm guessing carbon is a fuel source.
Yeah, for more advanced generators. Like for the small generators, you can use organics, but for like the bigger ones, you need carbon. So yeah, so there's that. I think ammonium can be. No, I guess ammonium can't be smelted into anything else. I don't think.
Ooh,
maybe
look at that over there. There's
remember.
Like a giant asteroid or something.
Oh, that's the moon.
That's not the moon.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen the moon a lot of times, and that's definitely not the moon.
It's the moon of this planet.
I don't see a face on that. God, now I want to play Majora's Mask. I haven't played that in forever. That was so good.
What was I gonna do? Oh.
All right, hold on. We had to do the friendship test. Are you Ocarina of Time or are you Majora's Mask?
I'm going to make you very sad and say that I was not playing Nintendo games at that time, so I've never played either of them.
That's fine. They're good. I like both. I like both of them, and I'm okay with both. But there is a definite correct answer, and that is Majora's Mask.
I've been basically a PC gamer my entire life. Like.
Oh, me too. I just also like consoles, mostly Nintendo.
I like them. I just didn't have access to them until I was an adult, basically, is the situation.
I always had access to both. I was quite fortunate.
Because my parents always had a computer around, which actually, being 37 years old, it's actually kind of unusual in my age group to have had computers in the house since I was basically as long as I can remember.
I was quite fortunate that my mom was really big into computer technology because some of my family worked in medicine in Canada quite high up. And that was part of what pioneered the internet. They said that they could remember the first time that they ever sent a direct message to a medical firm in India. And it only took like 10 minutes before someone said hi in return, and they all just freaked out because the internet wasn't a public thing yet. So it was just like an internal thing for like medical facilities around the world. And so like that side of the family has been really into computer technology more so than like the average person for a long time. So I was quite fortunate to grow up with a computer in the house despite growing up in a village.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, my dad just liked this stuff because he doesn't have a real reason for it. He just thought it was fun. And so we had an Atari ST when I was a small child.
Yep, we also had we had an Atari 2600, I believe, but by the time I was born, I was mostly playing the NES.
Yeah, well, the Atari ST was an actual computer that Atari made.
Yeah,
it wasn't a console. It was an actual like fully functional computer. So there's I'm just bringing this research thing back. I see a rec. If you want to go check it out.
Yeah, sure.
It's small. It's not one of the big ones, but let's see if there's anything useful in it.
I don't remember what our first computer was when I was growing up. I believe it ran MS-DOS because I remember playing a golf game for MS-DOS quite a bit growing up. Looking back on it, it probably wasn't a very good golf game. However, it impressed the hell out of me at the time, even though it was like, I think it was like vector graphics or something. It was just colored lines and text for the most part, but still, it was really cool for me as a kid. Even though, like, I was also playing Super Mario Brothers 3, which was a hell of a lot more impressive. That game is great.
Yeah, that is great. So it looks like the only thing in this that we have that's useful is this power cell.
Oh, you mean debris aren't useful?
Well, eventually you can get a shredder, and you can like chop it up for raw resources, but we don't have that right now. So you can just
carry
put that
this
on
power cell back.
You can just put it on your backpack. You don't need it.
Okay. I did it. Well, that's distracting to look at.
I see another wreck in the distance, so I'm heading towards that one too.
Okay.
No, Tinky, I never played the original XCOM. It's not like one of the games I had.
That was a good one. That one is a bit hard to get into now. It is very not user-friendly.
That's what I've heard.
There is a series that I wish I could remember the name. I bet you somebody in the chat knows. I think Sophia might play this game. There's a series that's based on the original XCOM where it doesn't have the license, but it's basically just the original XCOM style of XCOM. So if you prefer that style, it's still around to this day. Guardian King says, Majora's Mask was good, both the original and the remaster with the slight tweaks. I thought the remaster of Majora's Mask was pretty bad, actually. It does a lot of major gameplay tweaks that really make it user-unfriendly. Infamously, there's a problem of the guy who made Majora's Mask doesn't like Majora's Mask and says he doesn't get why anyone likes it. He was also the one who's in charge of the remaster, which is why the remaster made so many gameplay changes that really sucked and took out all difficulty. Xenonauts, that's the name of the series. Thank you, Sophia.
Oh, yeah,
Xenonauts is the series that's like classic XCOM.
Do you see that in the distance, that structure over that way? Or let me point that.
Maybe?
It's over the direction that I'm facing. I'm trying to point, but I can only.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry, it took a long time to pop in. I might need to look at my graphics options and see if there's like a draw distance.
So we should try. We need to get some.
No draw distance, really. That's strange.
Need to get to. I wonder if it's a server thing, like because you're
perhaps
hosted on mine.
Perhaps.
It's not. It's it has to come from my machine first.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need some generators for that in order for that to be useful. So
okay.
Head back. We're gonna need component, I think, for generators.
Bundle. I need compound.
Compound.
Yeah. Soil centrifuge. Okay. I need to make more tether bundles.
Compound is the gray blobby bits you see lying around that we've hit several times.
Right, I remember those. Yeah, the bubble kind of things.
Yeah. What is this? Oh, I found some compound over here.
Oh, Jetstream says the structure was there for a little while. It's just that it looked a lot like the background of the sky because of the lack of shadow. I do have shadows turned on. I actually didn't touch my graphics settings because by default I just put them on the highest. At least I think it's the highest. Is it the highest? Let me double check. I don't care that much. I'm not a big graphics guy. Oh yeah, I'm guessing high might be the high. Oh no, there's ultra. Okay, it put things on basically the highest. I don't care. It looks nice to me. Right,
yeah, I mean this game is pretty without being super demanding, I think.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that the shadows aren't having huge impact because shadows in games are like the first thing you turn off when it's killing the computer.
Mm-hmm.
My computer is very strong, but I'm also recording and streaming at the same time, so there's a couple games where I need to turn it down a little. What was the game recently where I had to do that? I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, I'm running out of oxygen.
I'm gonna go make more tethers towards the structure.
Okay, we need to. I'll make some generators.
Okay. Oh, check on how that research is going, by the way, because I know we have another thing we can slot in when it's done. Okay, I see the structure now. Oh, it's got like a big glowy thing coming up from it.
Yeah, until they're turned on, they have that like glowy thing that shoots out of it, so that so they're easier to find.
There really should be a better thing for the tether bundles, for like placing them at the right distance. It's kind of a pain.
Yeah, somebody was saying it should have the thing like in Factorio where you just hold the button down and every time it drops.
I was actually just thinking about that.
I got really excited at first because when I was being told that by my chat, I didn't realize it was a suggestion. I thought it was like the way it worked, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're changing my life." I've been pressing every time. Like, nope, that's just a suggestion. That's not the way it actually works.
I did a series
There's probably
once.
A mod that does that.
I did a multiplayer series once where it was like a multiplayer teaching you how to play Factorio, because I had beaten the game a few times and my friend Truth had never played it. And eventually, when it got to a certain point of the series where we'd have to just be waiting around for stuff quite a bit or doing busy work, it became basically a podcast about the show Sonic Underground. It was incredible. And so like every once in a while I'll get a new comment on that old series where people are just like, they've gotten really far and they're like, I came here to learn how to play Factorio, and yet I'm weirdly engrossed in two strangers teaching me about this terrible old cartoon.
Is that the Sonic cartoon from back in the day? Like
one of them. Sonic Underground was abysmal, which is why it only went for one season. There were a few Sonic cartoons. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Sat AM, Sonic Underground. They were all bad on some degree.
I remember the Sonic cartoon with the guy who played Urkel was the voice of Sonic.
Was that?
I think that was the first one.
That's no good.
It's the where the chili dogs.
Chili dogs, yeah, the comedy one. I've seen that one as well. That was Sonic the Hedgehog. There was a second one also called Sonic the Hedgehog. Not confusing enough. That's the one with like Sally the some fuck, and it was really serious and people really liked that, and everyone became a furry who watched it. I didn't watch that one, but apparently that was really popular and people really like that one. And then there was Sonic Underground, which they're all cool and they're in a band and they beat people up with their instruments. They like play their instruments and cool shit happens. And that was fucking atrocious, and that's the one we always talk about. All right, and there was Sonic X, which was past my time.
I had no idea there were so many.
Sonic is... I think JonTron put it best forever ago when he said, Sonic is like the strongest branded video game character of all time because it has survived on its brand for like 2 decades alone. Because at the time that he had said that, they hadn't made a good Sonic game in like 15 years, and yet it's still beloved entirely on branding. And I'm like, well, that's probably the best argument I've ever heard as to Sonic the Hedgehog being the best branding in a video game character of all time.
Well, they do what Nintendo don't, so.
Yeah, I had a Genesis. I had all Nintendo consoles except the Genesis. Like, I had a Genesis instead of an SNES.
Whoops.
But luckily, because I had a computer and I knew what the internet was, I knew how to torrent things and how to emulate things way before anybody else. And so, like, I was emulating games when, in, like, year 1999, I was emulating stuff. And that's much earlier than a lot of people.
So we're gonna need basically 6 of these guys, these small generators. And we have to power them all up.
Is really aesthetically cool the way it pops up. I like that.
Yeah, and so we have to chain together 6 of these. I thought originally when I used to do it, when I did it first, I thought you had to put 2 on each one of these little platforms, but you can actually just put 6 on a single platform. It just needs the amount of power.
God damn it. Retro says, quote, I had all the Nintendo consoles except for the Genesis, MTV 2019. You know what I mean. I'm not saying that the Genesis is Nintendo. I'm saying I didn't have the SNES, I had the Genesis. That is the exception. God damn it. Sorry, I'm gonna get crucified. Okay, so to make generators, how much resource grand total do we need?
Need a bunch of compound, so I'm going over here and grabbing it.
Okay.
Need basically 1 stack of compound per generator.
And the biggest pain in the ass of that is we also use compound for the tethers to get to the compound.
Well, you can survive for a while without it, so I'm just ran over here without tethers.
I will join in as well. Get this done faster. Man, I really do need to play Morrowind. Did you get into the Elder Scrolls series much?
I played a little bit of Morrowind, but I was really lost, because if I remember correctly, its original, like, quest system was pretty bare bones, and so it was hard to...
Yeah, it's very text-heavy.
It was hard to keep track of where I needed to go and what I needed to do.
Yeah, you pretty much just have a journal that you go into for everything. Like, I didn't play it a ton, but I played it a little bit a few years ago, and then earlier this year I played another few hours and kind of got into it, and so I wanted to do it on the show one day. You know what's aged really astonishingly well is Daggerfall. When you first boot it up, the controls are impossible. But if you edit the controls, it actually controls like a modern game, because it does have a mode, not by default, where like it's a modern FPS or not a shooter, modern first-person game, where when you move your mouse, it moves your face rather than having a cursor on screen. It has a mode for that built in. They're kind of ahead of the time, and they also like you can remap just about everything so that like you know A and D are strafing rather than looking left and right like turning, and you can actually make it control in a really modern way, and it actually is not that hard to learn. It's really fun. Cool. So I want to do that on the show too. You wouldn't think Daggerfall would control well considering it was 96, I want to say. It's pretty old. All right, I need to make more tethers.
I think it looks like I've got enough compound to make all 6 of these, so...
Oh, sweet, go for it. I have a few compound on me as well in case you run out.
And then we're going to need the organic to actually power them, the other bit.
Oh, I have a little on me. Let me...
I have one. Touch it and press F to turn it off, because we don't want it on right now, or it'll use it up.
I'm just going to preemptively turn all of them off.
I don't know if you can.
I just did.
Oh, can you? Oh, who knew?
Yeah.
Learn something
Fuck
new.
you, I'm the pro now. What's this floating thing? Hold on, there's like a floating thing. Do you is this on your end as well?
Wait, where are you?
Okay, hold on. Let me point at it. Where's the? There we go. Oh no, that's the wave button shit. It's right in front of me, floating in the air.
I don't think I see it.
Right here. I'm headbutting it. No,
Yeah, it's not on mine.
It's only on my end. Everybody
It's
go look
special
at
for
that
you.
multi-twitch to see these. It's completely black even when I put my flashlight on it. It's like untextured or something. It's very strange, but it reflects light. You know what it looks like? It looks like a coil of copper wire. It's very small. It's a disc shape, and it's completely black and floating in the air. When I touch it, nothing happens.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird artifact, I guess.
Pumbaa Ju says, yes, Daggerfall was 96. I'm a genius.
I have such a poor memory for dates. Do you ever watch Northern Lion at all?
I have seen a bit of him in collaborative stuff with other people. Oh, hold on. What's this whole structure?
That's another wreck, yeah. I was going to point it out after we got this done.
Oh, look what I just pulled out of the ground. Is this important?
Yeah, it's like a storage platform.
Oh, we should probably be using that rather than dropping it on the ground.
But he has the most amazing mind for dates. Like, he, for whatever reason, can remember when everything has happened. And he's almost always right, which is the crazy thing.
Some people are like that, and I don't get it, because I cannot do that.
Yeah, I don't either. I can vaguely remember. It's like, I don't know, that was like late 90s, probably? Like, that's about as good as I can get.
I'm passable with some things, but like... Okay, I think we have all the generators ready. Do we just boot it up, or should we collect more?
Just turn them on. Nope, just turn them on. You gotta wait for it to finish processing.
Gaming Quarks asks, how many planet cores have you done? Me personally, none. I'm really new to the game.
I've done one so far. I've spent almost my entire play on the single planet so far in my own game. But yeah. You power these things up and they become like teleporters between each other.
Nope.
That you can get around on the planet.
Got an achievement. Ooh, that's cool looking. Gaze, don't mind if I do. What a progressive game. What the fuck am I clicking on right now? I have no idea.
So basically, what that is showing you is that we've turned one on, which is that origin node at the top, and then there are 5 more on the surface that need to get turned on.
Oh.
And one in the middle.
I'm sorry, that's what you gleamed from that?
Well, not right away, but that's what I figured out.
I haven't been this confused by the gaze in a while. No, this show's bad. Jesus.
Right, what's this part?
I just love the idea of this being someone's first impression. Oh, research item. How did I miss that before? Let me carry this home.
All right, that's all just debris. All right, so we found a big...
Oop, fuck.
I don't think I can combine these right now, unfortunately. I'm gonna rather than bring home this this medium storage, I'm gonna bring home the wind turbine.
Okay, I'm bringing home this research.
That seems more important. If you get it close to you, it's a little wonky, but if you pull it in close, you can kind of carry it. Like if you look at me, you'll see that my guy's like has his hands out and is holding it.
Is that faster than? Oh, there we go.
Well, you can actually sort of sprint a little bit with this way, where you can't.
Okay.
Because
I would just pick it up and throw it forward and then keep walking, because it's better than like carrying it on my floaty thing.
Yeah, that's also a good option.
I wonder what's faster. I need to check speedrun.com. Do you watch much speedruns?
Not really.
I love speedruns. I speedrun a bit.
I find them interesting. Yeah, I've seen your tweets about the stuff you're doing with what? Resident Evil? Was that right?
I do Silent Hill 2. I can beat the game in about 45 minutes right now. World record is 39 minutes 21 seconds by Punchy, who's the guy who taught me how to.
Yeah.
I learned by Punchy and Nicdisis. If anybody in the chat knows those names, they're the ones who taught me how to play.
Cool. Yeah, I find them interesting in like an interesting intellectual pursuit of like trying to break a game basically to see how fast you can go.
Very fun.
But it's not something I find interesting to do myself, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
I think it really depends on the game as well, because so many speedruns are so drastically different. One of the reasons why I like speedrunning Silent Hill 2 is Well, one, I like those old tank control games, even though Silent Hill 2 speedrunning on PC, you don't use tank controls for 99% of the run. You actually only use it for the last 30 seconds. Because almost every mechanic you use in Silent Hill 2 speedrunning is a PC exclusive mechanic because the PC port was made in like a month and it's crap. And so every mechanic that they put in that's PC exclusive is bugged to hell. And so that's why you use them, because it's so bugged out that you can skip shit. Like, there's a part near the end of the Silent Hill 2 run where you just run through a wall, and it's the hardest thing to do in the game, and you can only do it on PC because it has a quick save feature, and the quick save feature is so irreparably fucked up that it allows you to do all kinds of shit the game doesn't normally let you do. If you're quick saving, load zones don't trigger. So you can just walk through load zones and nothing happens, and you can use this to just walk out. Like, anytime there's like a stairwell that would take you to another part of a room, if you're mashing quick save and you walk past it, you can just walk forever and walk out of the stage. So you find ways to walk out of walls and then come back in at the right angle to like fall back out of bounds and then walk to other parts of the world.